Hey, Lita Boo.
How you doing, Robin?
Tired. I'm so tired, girl. I'm tired.
I
Hey,
look
y'all. Welcome to Girl Talk and Wine, season 3, episode 6. This is the last one, and we don't have no guest speakers or none of that. It's just us.
it's just you here.
I feel
It's
good
a
about
building.
it.
What you
Can you
say?
hear me? Can you hear me?
Hmm.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure. I would say I actually feel good about it. I was reminiscing the other day about how Girl Talk used to be because I went through some of our old videos and I was like, oh, we used to have so much fun. We would be on there for like, one of them was 5 hours long.
Oh my goodness, what was we
And
talking
you was
about?
on there the whole time, like
I
from the,
was.
yes. I think you went out and came in, like your thing hung up, but you were there the whole time. That was the night Tim was on there.
Oh, we had a good talk with
Yeah,
those guys because I think it was another guy on there too, wasn't it?
we did call somebody on there. I remember, but I can't recall. But we were talking about open relationships and polygamy.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
I remember.
that was a substantial topic.
Mhm. It could go on and on and on and
It's
on.
we had like 14 people on there, and everybody was voicing their relational opinions. So it was a lot. It was controversial, I would say.
Yeah, it can be, definitely can be.
Okay. To join the panel. Click.
I'm gonna drink this wine, but I don't want my headache to come back
Please, no headaches. Girl.
tomorrow.
We got a long weekend ahead of us.
We do.
Hey, Jackie. Jack.
Come
How are
on
you?
in
What you say, Lita?
I said, come on in the room.
Come on in the room.
I'm gonna sip it. I didn't get to make it to the liquor store or the grocery store today, so
It say I can add people on here. Oh Lord, y'all, I ain't even. Don't mind me. Don't y'all mind me. Don't mind me, Rosemary. Don't mind me. Don't
hey,
see Rosemary fussing already. Just
ladies.
you mute. We don't hear you, Rosemary.
No judgment zone.
Hey, y'all, can you hear me?
None. No judgment at all. What's up, Carolyn?
Hey, y'all.
Hey,
Hi, ladies.
Oh, y'all, I'm so tired. I don't think I've been this tired in a long time.
Nothing. Can y'all hear me?
We
Can y'all
can't.
hear me? Yeah.
Yeah, we
There
can.
yeah.
you go.
I'm trying to turn these captions off on this Facebook.
I told Robin the other night, ain't nobody tell me how close I be sitting to the
Hey,
screen.
yeah.
I went back and looked at one of our videos, and I was like, wow, all of it. But it don't look like it on my phone. But when I rewatch the videos, I am.
Yeah. Like this.
Cause she
Yeah,
can't
I
hear
don't
me.
know.
So she be trying to read stuff. She be like this.
Uh-huh.
I didn't say that because I thought she knew.
I was talking about myself, but I promise it's far back. Like it's probably an arm length back from me right now. But when I look at that video, I'm gonna be all of
No, you not. You really not. You far. You look like you can see the top of your chest. So you look right. Everybody about to
good.
I think I'm the closest one. But my I would yeah.
I'm not. I'm
Next
far.
season, I'm gonna have me a girl talking wine chair.
Yeah, next season we're gonna all have chairs, okay? And
Our
Oh,
own,
yeah.
our own wine glass, everything.
our own wine. Cause remember we started on that. I was
We
so mad
did.
I went in the store and seen a wine with our name and I said that ain't it. That's
Mm-mm.
not it.
I saw one in Georgia. You can make your own wine.
But we need to go there. It's the labels for me that I was having an issue with.
Yeah.
Jackie and my kids said, "Hey y'all."
Hello.
Hey,
Hello.
Did anybody have a chance, get a chance to watch the video I sent?
I just tuned into it when I was trying to get on the one with Michelle Williams and Tim Roth. Chance to
But
look at all of it.
but
I need to.
they were, it's called the basement. But they, man, okay, they
Go away.
talked for so long. They talked for so long in the beginning that it. Yes, ma'am. I just told you I wasn't able to talk right now, right?
I
Okay.
fast forwarded and moved through all this.
Okay. I'm sorry, y'all. Yeah, they started off just talking a lot, so it kind of threw me off, and I lost interest. But then when I fast forwarded a little bit, and the one which I don't want to talk about it a lot, it was just a few things that Miss Soroya had brought up on the live the other night. You know about tradition and how the elders handle certain situations now because they're afraid of what the parents gonna say and do, and just parenting alone is one of the topics we did talk about in some seasons prior to this one. uh, but the way they were saying silent agreements and like having to learn by bumping your head or learning by experience, like how my question was like how does that affect the growth and development of a person, how many of us on here now parents talk to them about the birds and the bees
Mm.
before
nobody
you
talking
I
about them
did.
about
I don't
hers though.
remember.
before you got into it? They talked, they already had
All
hit
they do is
you.
they put you on birth control real quick. That's their birds and bees.
Well,
Birth
I
control.
don't know. My grandmother used to tell us about Santa Claus coming, and I didn't know she was talking about ministration.
Okay, so did she talk about the S word with you?
She just, she always just asks us, "You seen Santa Claus?" So no, they didn't really talk in depth about sex. It was kind of like a hush hush because they was hoping that we wasn't gonna get into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Hey, Oshir, I'm so glad you're here. Jackie said
Yeah.
hers didn't talk to her about it either. So here we are, three sets of generations almost, and no one's parents really thoroughly talked about it. And it was always just that thing that was, uncomfortable. Like even now, saying the word is like, oh, it's kids in here, or like it makes us get into a inappropriate feel. You
Mm.
know what I'm saying? And we should not feel that way. It's a natural happening. We're all doing it. I don't care what nobody say. We're all doing it in one shape, form, or fashion. And it should be just as open as love, or just as open as any other form of expression. To me, I'm sorry. I got it. Call your mama, Noel. And listening to that video, it was a Caucasian lady, but she was saying her parents didn't talk to her about it. It was just something that you go into blindly,
Yeah.
not knowing what your parents knew, because clearly they doing it because you here. And all they had to do is kind of open the door and say, look, be careful when you do this. These are some things that can happen, and these are, it could be a lovely thing if done it right. But I mean, it was no conversation. I remember catching my parents doing it, and it was so weird to even tell them what I thought they was doing, and they denied it. Girl, we wasn't doing that. That wasn't that. And I remember writing it like on this. You remember those placemats that was on the table that was made out of foam kind of stuff?
Oh
Mhm.
yeah.
Okay, I pressed down real hard and just kind of wrote the word instead of saying it because I thought I was gonna get in trouble like it was a bad word.
Mm-hmm.
And she laughed and she was like, "That ain't what we was doing." Then we got in the car. And she told my dad, she was like, "Robin thought we was doing that," and I know they was. Like, I wasn't stupid.
What was your dad response?
Then he pulled out. Like, he didn't say nothing. It was just
Oh,
because he didn't want to get in the middle of it because he didn't know what lies my mama had probably already done said. And he
Mhm.
just like, did you handle it? And it was no
Most
more.
men
It was
like
still not a topic. Yeah, that's something that I'm like, how do you introduce? Like, how do you break that cycle? Like, okay, y'all two have kids, Carolyn and
No,
Rosemary. Do
I didn't.
y'all
You want me to take close the door? Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Let me tell you what I did. I broke the cycle.
praise
It's done.
God.
It's broke. Okay. So my mama told me. She said, "Girl," she used to tell me I had a strange family because I did stuff differently than they did. We ate at a table. We had the dinner table. You could not eat unless we were together eating. Like
Yeah,
we did that. We didn't do that. My mom and them didn't do that. We said wherever we was at, we said it, or the kids sat at the table, and the parents or wherever. Like me, my husband, the kids sat at the table.
right,
When my daughter turned 13, every year I had it on a sheet of paper written down what I was going to talk about every year. And me and her, we went somewhere, just me and her, because I had a son. So I have to separate them. I don't want them to think they're together. And their birthday is the same month at that. So I took her for every 12th birthday. 13, I started every year talking to her about something. I talked to her about sex. I talked to her about abuse. I had her look up on the computer the signs of abuse. And every year she would go back and recap what I did the year before. I kept a record of it. And every year we recap. When she broke her virginity, she was 19. I knew about it because she felt comfortable about coming to me about it.
right,
And she did, and guess what else I did? I had all her pads and whatever she was using, tampons, all that would be in my bathroom. So I knew when
wow,
your cycle was on. She didn't know that's what I was doing. She had to come and get her pads from me.
mhm.
So I
got
would know
you.
when her cherry popped. Mine got popped. I thought I was on my period. I didn't know what was going on. I was scared of life because nobody told me that, but she knew what to expect when it happened.
Right.
And every year to this day, we still talk about something. I didn't want to break the cycle. We don't have that much to talk about. And it's just life. It's 25 today.
Right,
So
right,
we always talk about something. But honey, my son same way. And I'm the woman, but I try my best. And my husband, he'll finish it off, but I get it started because he needs to know too. Showed it, honey. We don't no secrets around him. That's how you get in trouble trying to hide stuff. And somebody out there getting their tail beat on by a man and don't know it ain't right.
That's sad.
You know, because they was in a household they didn't see that, so therefore they don't know. Even though they know they didn't see it, but they still don't know if it's a problem with it because nobody ever told them about it.
right, right. And that's one thing that my concern when I was reading or listening to the podcast that they were doing. Can you okay? Okay. Your mama on the phone. You want to talk to her or you want me to tell you laying down? Okay. Okay, yeah. Yeah, but after watching the podcast, I was like, "Ooh, that's good because we are all affected by that. Like, and
Mhm.
not just about the birds and the bees. I mean, several different things that we don't mention. You be wanting to talk. Like, I remember I wasn't supposed to be talking to boys yet, but I really liked somebody, and I needed advice on like how to, and I'm like 17 at this time,
Mhm.
and it wasn't like no little play relationship. He really liked me, and I had no idea what to do. And I couldn't go to my mama because she wasn't allowing me to talk to boys yet, and my granny, she helped me, a little bit to her ability, but she still see me as her baby. So she was giving me pure advice and not, you know, I would say righteous advice, like, take it slow.
She wouldn't give you real. She wouldn't give you the real in
Right.
her cut advice.
Right. Eventually she grew into it because she knew like after the first time I messed it up, she knew it was having a effect on me because I wasn't doing it right. and she knew the right way, but she wasn't telling me because she didn't feel comfortable. She didn't want her baby date boys. But I feel like it's just something that we should be able to talk about. Another thing is like when a child is being hurt, abused, touched, a lot of stuff gets swept under the rug, and they don't feel comfortable talking to adults about things that they should feel comfortable talking to adults about. Um, and those are things like, what are some tactics that you guys would recommend to help with the transparency amongst families? Let's just say that.
You got to start it early. You got to start it early. Because if you don't start it early, they're never going to trust you to start it. Like you have to start it even when it's uncomfortable for you. Because you got to think about what were you doing when you was 12, 13 years old, 14 years old?
Or 9.
Yeah.
Or
And start having conversation with the feeling and touching and all that kind of stuff real early. Like when you was once you realized what you had here and what that was, when you was able to understand the difference between those two, we had conversations. Even my son, I had conversations with him too, because they get abused too. So I have to let them know places that don't get touched. If you're in a situation and don't feel, honey, my daughter was 20. She was 20, and she knew somebody in Atlanta. They've been talking on. She met them online. They talking on the phone, FaceTime, whatever. Honey, we went to Atlanta to visit. I don't know. We went down there for something, and she wanted to meet up with the boy. Girl, I got that boy's license plate. I got his license. I had him call his mama and got her number. I need to know where he was going. I said, I got at that time had to spill the beans that I could trace on her phone. Had to spill the beans at that point. Girl, if you feel uncomfortable, feel unsafe, something don't feel right, just call me and I can find you on my phone. She looked, I'm like, damn, I had to spill the beans, but I had to do it. Every time I took pictures both of them together, so you see her, you see him. Like I was not playing no games. Yeah. She at the age she was. I think she might have been 19 or 20. It might have been 20. I don't know what age, but it was kind of of age that she should have been able to do stuff like normal. I ain't gonna say normal, but most people let their kids do what they want about that time. Like now, my daughter's 25 years old, and she just left from New Orleans. She called me when she got there. After she hung up, she sent me a text that we made it back to the room. Okay, she went out overseas. Like she know because she said matter of fact, she said, Mom, we're going to Cancun. I'm gonna make sure I let you know when I get there. She said, because Mama, some girl got killed in Mexico because it's like a couple months ago. So she know the dangers that's out there. So by her knowing it, and I made sure she knew what it was, be aware of it. She's okay with doing that stuff. And I said, babe, I'm sorry if I feel like I know them other parents ain't checking on their kids like that because y'all not kids. I said, I'm sorry that I check on you. Like she said, no, Mama. She said, you got to because you just never know what's going on.
That's right. That's right.
She was 18 years old and was her cousin was out there like dressed up one night for something like she was freaking older than 20 something. And I was about to say, Mama, look what she got on. She knew the difference how to represent yourself. I did not let her wear short shorts at all. The first pair of short shorts she got, it was a summertime. I think she might have been 16. I got them from the thrift store. And I just let her wear them summertime. And other than that, she knew she could not wear no shorts unless they was 2 inches above her knee. She knew how to carry herself. To this day, she still carry herself. She don't look like she shouldn't look at 25. But I had to start young.
Way. Oh my God.
Yeah, I had to start young.
Just like a little boy.
Yeah, I had to start young because if I didn't, now she realized if I didn't do what I do, she would have been like, because somebody got pregnant. She said, Mama, such I already got pregnant. It ain't even like she could come talk to me about that because I already told her about that. But I just think you got to start early. If you have girls, boys, it don't matter. Don't discriminate because both of them. If a girl get abused, the guy get abused too.
Yeah. And then not even just abuse, just curiosity, just awareness, and having that safe space that your children feel comfortable, and other children, because some other children's parents were hurt or damaged or not treated or mistreated, and they don't allow that in their house because it's a weird place for them. And not just in this situation, but universally, you got to get past that weird. Like it feels weird. It may be a little uncomfortable at first, but wouldn't you rather have an uncomfortable moment with your child or with your people and open up a safe space versus have that weird conversation like, Mama, somebody touched me. You know what I'm saying? Where they feel like they have to. Or that weird energy where y'all in the same room and now y'all can't even hold a conversation because somebody mind ain't even there. Or you like, well, what happened? And they're a whole new person now. Cause they didn't have the guidance that they needed. So it's a lot of things I feel like cause us to shut down like that or had that fear to get past the weirdness of it. But the thing I would like to come up with tonight is like, how do we move past that?
Well, once we know. Oh, is
No,
there
go
somebody
Roseman.
talking? No,
Go ahead.
I heard somebody else talking. Oh, that's the TV. Once we know the reason what caused it, and then we can look at it and then come up with some solutions to it. Because I'm gonna tell you, lady, how I found out about sex. This is really weird. They used to have the drive-in movies, right? I remember my mother and stepfather, and it was 6 of us taking us in the station wagon to the drive-in movie, right? And this is so etched into my memory. I'll remember it till I die. And they would tell us to put our heads down. We was at a movie that was sex. It was a flood in the town. The people was on the roof having sex. They was all everywhere having sex, having sex, having sex. So that's how I was introduced to that sex. And then you got your cousin, your boy cousins. You know how you experiment when you're young and you're curious. You start experimenting. My part is different from your part, or you got this little twinkle. You touch me here, and so a lot of times the older people didn't want us to mention anything about sex because there's so many things that have happened over the course of years in the family, rape, incest, all these different things, getting pregnant early. And so it was, they didn't tell us anything about sex because they didn't want to have that hard conversation because their parents didn't have it with them.
Yeah, they
So
didn't
it's
want to
like a
accept it.
cycle. It's like
They
a
don't want to
cycle.
accept it. Yeah, they don't want to accept it. They don't want to accept it, what they went through because they have to talk through it to you, and then now they have to accept it on what happened to them or what they went through,
Yeah.
and they don't want to accept it. They're not at that point to
And I
accept
think,
But
and
me,
I think
I'm different
sometimes,
because when I was with my daughter, I have a daughter and a son. And with my daughter, I sat down and talked to her about sex.
so why
I
did
talked
you
to
do it
her
with
about
your
her
son?
menstruation. I talked to her about sex. I told her, how boys can touch you in a place that'll make you feel a certain way. And you have to be really ready for sex. And I didn't know she had been going to the doctor and getting birth control check up and get birth control pills and things of that nature. But she didn't tell me. But she didn't have a baby until she was like 20 25. I think she got pregnant at 25. But she was having sex and I didn't know it. And I called a boy over to my house and he had been hiding under the bed. He was spending the night every night having sex.
Why was it
And
different
I
with your son?
and she was sneaky. And I used to always wonder why she would go in that room so fast and shut the door and kind of be off to herself. She had a boy in there having sex. And so one day I just caught him. And I'm like, you got somebody in here. I said, because I'm feeling that you have someone in here with the door closed. And sure enough, it was the boy having sex. I said, I want to meet this boy. I would like to meet who's in my house. So when she brought him over to me, I looked at his feet. It looked like he had on a pair of her tennis shoes. I said, oh my goodness, those look like your tennis shoes. And so he had been living in my house and I didn't even know it, having sex. And so that's her first pregnancy. She got pregnant by him there. But I told her about sex. I tried to encourage her to go to college and do something for herself. She did go to college, but she ended up and got pregnant. So I was like, you can tell, you can influence the young girls, but they have to make their own decision. And at first, I was really upset at her. Then I thought, okay, this is her life, Rosemary. You did the best you can as a mother. You did more than your mother did for you. Talking to you about sex. So it's just being open and just telling them. And like even with I have two granddaughters. I have a book that tells them about the different sexual parts of their body. Because if
Mm.
somebody touched them, they got to know they touched my vagina, not my pocketbook. Like they said, oh, don't let them touch your pocketbook. They had all these different names for different parts of the body. But no, that's your
Mm-hmm.
vagina. This is your breast. These are your hips. This is your thighs. So if somebody touched you there, you could say, yeah, they touched my thigh. They touched my vagina. They touched my breast. So we need to be honest with our kids so they can know if somebody is, intruding in their space and touching their body part, that they know what the body part means and
Mm-hmm.
how you can get pregnant. Once you start your menstruation, you can get pregnant if you let a boy penetrate you, and that's put his penis in your vagina. I mean, my grandkids know. They look at me like, and I have a book.
Yeah, yeah. And I think that it is very much more effective by just being a crazy grandma, crazy auntie, crazy whatever, and look at here, and I think that that would help us in the long haul, in the long shot. And that way, even though they may find a way to improvise once they become grandmothers and mothers and aunties, like, okay, I ain't gonna rip it off like grandma did, but it ain't weird no more to talk about it, like,
Mhm.
because now me and my grandmother, we talk about sex, but I'm old enough to
Mhm.
talk about it now, but it's an open conversation. We laugh about it, and sometimes it's not so laughable, but there are times, I do have a place where I can go and say, Grandma, I don't this how do I what do I you know what I'm saying? And I know from growing up I didn't have that. So now that I'm an adult and have that safe space and know that, it's somebody who has gone through this, and has some wisdom and somebody I trust, that you just can't, there's nothing that can match that. Just having that safe space.
Look, Robin, how do you tell your grandkids? Because I haven't talked to them about this. Because sex is now all different types of way. It's so many facets of sex. It's like, oh my goodness, how did I
I
break
would
that
have to
down to
get
the grandbabies?
I would have to get my grandma on here. She just don't. She just. At first, she was very um modest. She's that grandmother that we don't disrespect her at all. Like certain things you just don't talk about and you don't say certain words. But
Hmm.
here the last 5 or 6 years, like she understands. And I would like to say that I had a lot to do with it because me, I'm not gonna bite my tongue, and if I feel like I gotta say something, I need to say it, and I need somebody. And it's you, my grandma, or not, because
Hmm.
I need somebody. I do. I ain't gonna lie. And my other grandma is not here no more, so somebody got to step up. I need you, and I'm not gonna be out here wandering and keep bumping my head when I got a 78-year-old grandma now. So once I opened up to her, she started opening up to me, and we started making jokes about it a little bit. And then it just became something. Now we have girl talk, and she talked to me, and like I would be talking to my friend, and she talked to me about her experiences. And I'm
Hmm.
like, wow, okay, so grandmas do it. Mine ain't done it in 30
Grandma
years.
do what?
She ain't done it in 30 years, but she did it, and she talked about her experiences with me. And it's golden because I don't see it in the manner that, nowadays when you talk about it, and I'm saying this because it's people around me, but
Oh,
um
okay.
yeah, it's children and I don't wanna
Oh,
be the
oh
one to
yeah, I
expose
forgot about
them.
those kids. Okay.
No, you on my ear, so you good.
Okay. Okay.
But nowadays when you use the term, your mind goes straight to perversion.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Yeah.
it's just sick. Everything is just sick. And they've
Yes, it
ripped
is.
the sacredness off of it. they torn off the substance in it. Hey, Robert. Yeah, but it's just yeah. So I feel like transparency, vulnerability, and truth, and getting out of that fear of would pour back the core values back into our notion of what it really is. You know what I'm saying? Because we lost it. It's taken away, and now people don't even want to do it because it's so abused and misused now. Even in marriages, it's no longer like that sacred thing anymore. I mean, you get sacred sometimes, but mostly then you have to also be mindful of the stuff that they can see on the TVs and the computers. And sometimes people want you to reenact, and it's not as when they doing it themselves, you know. So it's just these days we up against so much more.
Yes, we are.
And then
you know what
it
I was
makes
thinking?
you question. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. You know, I just be talking.
Oh, go ahead. I thought you did.
I just be talking to keep the motion going. Don't worry.
No, I was gonna say that, you know, when we were younger, it was things that they did that made us curious. Like we would be watching a movie and they'll make us cover our eyes or something like that. And I'm like, okay, what I'm covering my eyes for? And you don't want to explain to me why I gotta cover my eyes while we watching this movie. So I'm like, okay, now I gotta figure out what they was doing that I gotta cover my eyes for.
Exactly. And why is my eyes got to be covered up?
Right.
And why yours still open?
Doors open, but mine closed. What
Right.
they do?
Yours open and mine closed. Something ain't right with this. Yours and granddaddy's. Both y'all still looking.
We got
Y'all doing something
like
over
we
my
can't hear.
head. Mm-hmm.
Like cover my eyes, close my ears too.
But I can hear, and as long as you can hear it, you know what they're doing. The thing for me was that they thought I didn't know. That was the thing for me. But me and my cousins, we knew early. Like we knew early. I don't know who was exposed and brought it to us out, but we were all really close. So what one knew, all of them knew. You know, it wasn't like one person knew something and they just didn't say it. No, when they found out something, it was like Adam and Eve. When Eve found out that sex was a thing, she said, Adam, you're going to have to feel this. Like, you're going to have to, after she knew. And this is my theory. This is what I think. And y'all can argue if y'all want to. I don't care. But the forbidden fruit was that. That's what I thought it was.
I definitely agree with that. I agree with that.
Mm-hmm. And the separation between Cain and Abel was one was of the son of God and one was of the serpent. But that's a topic for another day.
Because it never said that forbidden fruit was an apple. I don't know who put that out there in the world, but ain't nowhere in the Bible
it just say
it was
fruit. And it is a fruit. It is the gift that keeps on giving, if you ask me. But yeah, so and it's just, and also they talked about like the sharing of information too. Like people loosely just be out here doing it and not even using protection, you know. And it's like that's scary. It's very immature, not responsible, because not only are you swapping my information with someone else, but you're also bringing the information they got from somebody else to me. If it was God's will for me to have that information, I would have crossed with the person that got it. But instead, I'm exposed to things that should not even be. And then you wondering why you battling a form of depression that don't even run in your bloodline. You wondering why doors open in your house and you ain't even invited nobody over. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, I gotta figure out everything in my house and my bloodline is purple. Why is there orange handprints on the wall? Who did I let in here with orange hands? So and then the issue is we have so much, we wait till it gets so far out of hand before we start trying to clean up. And it's like, oh my God, you got orange hands, purple hands, green hands, blue hands, yellow feet,
Rainbow coalition.
scrabble. And it's like, you don't know who came from what. And the sad thing is, you have a woman who has held her posture, her composure, and waited, and her house is clean. And then you had that one man going there, and when he leave, her house is she don't even know who she is anymore. She don't even know where to start cleaning up because she just got overwhelmed with one person because he's out of order.
Yeah.
And that's the same with friends too. A lot of times we think that one action is the only way to intertwine and swap information, and it's not. It's not. You the same way you allow people in your ear. It's the same portal. It's a hole that goes the gateway to your soul, your spirit. You know, in the same way, coming through that way. It's just, and that's why they want to go deeper. They want to go inside, internal, and sow a seed there because what's in you, they want to touch. They want to touch that. They want to, and even with the information when people talking to you, they want to get in your ear so deep in your mind that it conceives an image in your imagination so that you can give birth to something that you heard. You know, in the same way with your eyes. That's why they play with your mind on the TV. Because when you see it, oh, that's real. Girl, it was UFOs all up in the sky yesterday. Now here you are speaking out of the abundance of your heart because your eye, you allowed that into your eye gate. And you don't even know what you talking about. You don't even know if it's true. You just have seen it, and it could be a Photoshop image, and you have no idea. You just sharing information because it's like having purple hands in a white room. I seen them purple hands. They was there. You ain't got to talk about it. Clean it up. Just clean it up. If it's out of place.
You need some disinfectant, honey. You need some disinfectant.
You need a whole new house. You know what? I'm out. I'm just out.
You need a whole new house, Robin.
I need a whole new house at this point because these niggas. Girl,
so you need to tear that one down brick by brick or mortar by whatever and rebuild.
Yeah, because if you don't, you gonna go to your next relationship with those same triggers in your mind.
Yes.
Like, not to say too much, but like, if you have a highly experienced, let's say the lady I said that was pure, and the man came in exposing her to all types of stuff. Now let's say she find her a pure man, you know, she gonna be bored. It ain't gonna be good.
Yeah.
Is she gonna be like, well, he used to do this and he talked to me like that, and you know, it's just the way he made me feel, you know. It's just, and then the other man may not make you feel like that because he's not manipulating you.
Right.
It's not gonna feel like you're falling. It's gonna feel like he's building you, and it's not gonna be comfortable. And a lot of times, and you can get a balance. You can find a balance at some point, but intertwining with other people is bigger than just fun, feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that mind thing is a terrible
everything.
thing. When they get into their head, it is a terrible thing. If you don't have the word, oh, go ahead, Talib.
Oh, I was like, I don't know who.
I was trying to ask Rosemary what she said. I couldn't hear her for a second.
Oh yeah, I was just saying the mind is a terrible thing, and once they infiltrate that mind, man, and the illusions and like the manipulation. If you don't have the word of God on the inside of you that combat all of that stuff,
oh yeah,
anybody
can manipulate you if you let them. Especially like you said, if you ain't strong enough in yourself and God.
Yes. And then some men come to destroy you, and some men come to bring healing to you. But you have to know how to discern who's who, because they both may look alike.
Oh yeah.
And you may have one that came to do both. Because sometimes we built this house and to us it's perfect, but God may want him to and want to allow him to tear down what you think is right.
Yeah.
Everything you thought was right is not. And just because he
Yeah.
came to destroy something, God allowed it.
Yeah. Yeah.
God allowed it. Maybe it was something you had to go through to grow. Because I'm thinking when you were saying that, I was thinking about my own testimony. You know, a lot of people be like, I wish I would have, if I hadn't done that, then I would have been better off. I probably would have been dead if I hadn't done half the stuff I did. You know, and when I say I'm grateful for who I am and where
Mm-hmm.
God got me, that's like that's a limitation because those are the only words I know how to use as a human. Like when I say I'm grateful, gratefulness is still like not. I want another word. I just want y'all to feel me when I say I am so grateful for who I am today. And had I made one decision different, I would not be who I am today.
Who you are today.
And
Yeah.
I'm
Yes.
grateful, you know, and it was necessary. It was
For your
all
making.
necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Mm-hmm.
it didn't feel good, you know. No, I don't wish it on nobody else, but it happened. It happened, and I accept it. It is what it is. Thank you. All I can say is thank you.
Thank
You
you.
know,
Thank you.
it is
Mm-hmm.
what it is, and
Mm-hmm.
whoever going through what they going through is just like stick to it. Make sure you're making better decisions the next time. Don't beat
That's
yourself up
it.
about something you can't change. You did
Mm-hmm.
it. It's done. You know, like I bet I won't do it again. Now, if you keep doing it,
Be bumping that
you need to,
head.
yeah, you need to figure something out within yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And take a step back because a lot of times we do feel like we need somebody. We want
Yeah.
somebody. But there's
Yeah.
something that you want is you. You want you. And until you show up to the bat, you're gonna always want something, even with somebody else. You still gonna want something else.
Mm-hmm. Still not gonna be satisfied. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Because once you find you, you don't even care if anybody else pull up. Sometimes you don't even want nobody. You don't even want no company. You
You
just
don't
Mm-hmm.
want
want
to
to be
be by
bothered.
yourself.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I lay in my bed sometime at night. I just stretch out. I'm like, "Woo! I thank you, Lord.
Ooh, thank you.
Just
But
Every
be
then,
day
with
but
me.
hey,
Just be
then
with
you
me."
had them times where you be wanting to put your feet on somebody else's feet and cuddle
yeah.
up too.
Well, if they feet
It
ain't
do
right, I
too.
don't want them putting their red hands in my clean house.
Period. Cause your feet crusty.
Don't
Mm-mm.
come up there.
And
Never
you got,
mind.
and then they leave, and you feel your sheet on the side, and they done left that dead skin on the sheet.
Ooh,
Uh,
Mm-mm.
ooh, ooh,
Boy,
ooh,
come
but
on
them
down.
ashy feet. You need a
ooh.
petty. Mm-mm. You need to
No,
get a
Going
thank you.
petty.
on.
We don't want that.
And you owe me a new pair of sheets because you done tore my sheets up.
That,
Ooh. Mm-mm,
Mm-mm.
mm-mm.
Like, brother, you is a diabetic. You need to drink some water. Put some butter on them feet. You so funny. Let me stop playing with you.
Said crusty and dusty.
Let me check your feet at the door. Shoes off. Let me see your feet. Well, while we talking about feet, my number one turn off is stinky feet. Like I can deal with and a liar, but stinky feet, you're fired off top. Like, and there's no point of return. I can't do it.
Because you're not keeping your body clean if
True.
your feet stinks.
Right, right. Because if your feet is stinking, you detoxing something from you. That's your lymphatic system. You ain't drinking enough water, and you got toxins coming all out your feet.
Mm.
And your urinary system needs to be washed out.
So let me ask this. I want to get back to that sexual part. Let me ask a question. This
Mm-hmm.
came up to me. So, do you ladies believe that when you're having sex with a man, that and everybody else he's having sex with, it penetrates you, that you take on different, like Robin was saying, different spirits and personalities because you've been with this one person?
Yes. Because you'll start.
Especially if they not if they're not cleansing themselves before they come to your house, it's like, okay, I just shook Salida hand, then came over there and shook your hand, and then came over there and shook Carolyn hand. Like, and then we all exposed to whatever Salida had in the beginning. So that's just touching hands. This just hand to hand.
Yeah.
Can you imagine internally what that's doing to you? And the fluid from a man is the cerebral fluid of his brain. Yeah, that's his brain fluid traveling through his spine into you. So his DNA is now within you. So yeah, I feel as though spiritually that's energy. So if his DNA is in that person, just like you got a sister somewhere in the world, I'm sure if something happened to her, you gonna feel something. Like you gonna know, like, let me check on my sister. Like, cause y'all DNA is intertwined, and that's just how it works in my world. That's how it works. Yeah, you can be exposed to things. Just like if a disease and a virus can transfer, information, thoughts, intentions, all of that can too.
Yeah.
My opinion, though. Carolyn, what you think? Oh, Salida, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was agreeing. I say because it be sometimes where I can, like earlier, I was thinking like, dang, I am drained. I am mentally and physically drained. And then I was like, and it was from me reading. This is just from reading stuff. Like, and I'm like, ain't nothing wrong with me. I am fine. Let me get up. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's just from me reading things. And it could have been from somebody that was like in the house, or I had been to the store or something like that. It could have been something like that. But I don't know. I agree that it could be energies intertwining.
Transferring the spirits.
Yeah, because I'm like, absolutely nothing was wrong with me. I was like, there's nothing wrong with me. Get up.
Yes. I do
Somebody
agree.
says soul ties. Yes. I also believe too that it's not a definite indefinite trans attachment, let's say that, because if the oil is running, it cannot attach itself. Like, I don't care if you really tapped in and you oily like you supposed to be. It's just like if you had a virus, if you drinking plenty fluids and your immune system is where it's supposed to be, something's gonna get pushed off. It's just that's how the system works. And if you're dry and you looking for something to cling to, and you just in that feeling of, I just want to possess this mine, I want it to be, then that's how it's going to respond in your body. Like when he gives that off, you're gonna hold on to everything he dumped within you. You're gonna hold on to it.
Oh wow.
And that's what I think too. And this is from my own observation within my own body, my own temple, my own experiences. I can remember can't let go of something. And I'm like, I can't. Why? I mean, y'all know me. It ain't nothing I can't do. And I tell myself this, and I believe that. And I tell y'all that when you say can't, I make sure I correct that, because there's nothing you can't do. And I can recall times where I'm like, I can't let go. I can't let him do this by himself. I can't. And I'm like, who am I? Like, who have I become? And whose words am I using? Like, because I knew I had been exposed to something that is not of my character. And once I did the shadow work and actually sat down, stopped answering the calls, stopped texting back. If he needs something, he can figure it out, just like everybody else got to figure it out. Then and focus on what is going on with me internally. Girl, I had so much stuff, like like I don't even know who stuff this was. Like, it was just stuff, and I'm like, oh my
Robin,
God.
did it affect your body, your physical body?
Yes.
Was your body starting to shut down?
Weak,
If you didn't
tired.
have him? Weak,
Yes.
tired.
Oh, when I was going through the process of letting it go. Yeah, each phase came with a level of tiredness, a level of sad, it was a lot. And I had to go through this maybe 7 times with the same person. And then every time got worse. Like I even had to go to the hospital a couple times because it had just gotten so bad. Just my body was rejecting his energy. Like sometimes he could just come around and I have fun while he there because I'm just glad he there. You okay? We good. You know, footsie, kissy, kissy. And it was just the love that I'm so used to. So I love it. But then when he left, it was like, you know, a relief. But then it just like, ugh, like, what have you done?
It's almost like he was a vampire, like he just came to suck the blood out of you.
Yep. And he would say that you my angel, you my life, you my lifeline, you know. And for me, I'm like, oh, that's so sweet. Yeah, wait a goddamn minute. You said what now? And then when you get in tune with yourself and you start playing this stuff back in your head, and that's why it's beneficial to me to talk to myself because myself be knowing. Like the other part of me, she be knowing. But the thing is, I be so caught up in la la land that I don't be hearing myself. I be like, be quiet, girl. I'm in love right now. You know, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna be quiet, but you gonna come back for me because he gonna be gone, and who else you gonna talk to?
Yeah.
So, and myself just started bringing things back to my mind, like you his angel, you his life, you his light. And he only come to you when he needs you, you know. And I'm like, oh, I have been got. I done been had. He took my milk, like he took it, and I'm wondering why I can't advance. That's okay. It's all good. And then I started playing the game different. I didn't cut him off. I just knew better. In certain words, when he would say, "Man, you just don't know what you did to me," and I'm like, "Oh, you think I don't know? What you mean?" I'm like, you just said I don't know what I just did to you, but I do. And he's looking like, who are you? Like, you awake?
You were
like,
changing.
Oh my gosh, you aware now?
And you was woken.
Yeah, because once you wake up, it's over. Like nothing's the same.
Yeah.
Not saying that they're gonna be done playing the game because they're gonna continue to keep playing with you. You know, just to see how far
they can get,
how much you know, like how you know this, and how far you gonna let them go. Mind you, I'm 14 years in on the same thing, but I handle it so much different now. Like, hey, bye.
And they don't like that. They don't like that.
But they love it.
To be the same person you were 14 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah. And they don't like it, but they love it. It's like now it's a reverse role. It's like I don't like the way this feels, but I like who you becoming.
But I like it.
Like, yeah. What you mean I can't have you? Oh, bro, that's weird. You're not my man. Oh, so I ain't your man now? You were never my man. And those are words that I would never say before. Like I never we knew it. It was understood, but we never said that. Like,
yeah.
Because he was like,
so you were confessing it. Then you was putting those words into action. Then it's like,
yes, yeah. My understanding was clear, and I don't have to be ashamed to say where I'm at. Why we can't do this and do that? I said, you're not my man. Oh, whoa, oh, ooh. You would have thought I slapped him. But it's the truth. It's the truth. And I want the foundation to be truth. If it ain't nothing else, let's be honest with each other. And if not each other, let's be honest with ourselves. I ain't doing this for you. I'm doing this for me. You know, I love you, and God knows I do. I'm here for you, but at the same time, I'm not gonna lose myself and rob myself of what I deserve because you incapable or you're not willing. Whatever it is, you ain't doing it.
And not available.
Whatever. No. Down boy. Scat scram. But I don't know, I'm still grateful. I'm grateful for the experiences. And then it helps me while I'm dating to point out trigger words. It definitely upped my discernment. Like it wasn't a bad experience. Like even like my marriage. And happy birthday to my husband now. Just happy birthday today. It's his birthday.
Happy
But
birthday.
Oh wow.
yeah, um,
Happy
it was
birthday.
not a bad marriage. Like a lot of people think because it didn't work out the way we thought that it didn't work out, but it worked out. It just didn't work out the way we expected. And the ending was not a bad ending. It no longer served our higher selves. And we were mature enough to walk away, you know. And endings don't have to necessarily be a bad thing. Once you've done what it is to do there, move on.
Move it on. Yeah. Yeah.
Move
Yeah.
on. Because you grew. You got what you needed to do. Now get out of there with it.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
objective. Make it to the other side with the fruit.
I don't think some people know when they've learned that lesson though, they'll stay in it. They'll still stay in it thinking that, there's more to do. But I don't know, and I think that's for a lot of people.
It ain't that,
Mm-hmm.
it's not that they don't understand that this person's for this season. They don't understand that.
Yeah.
If
But
they
they don't
understood
understand
that,
And
seasons.
I
they're
think
gonna
it's
know it's trying to. Everybody ain't meant for each season. Everybody's not your soulmate.
Mm-hmm.
Like people have
mm-mm.
soulmate. My husband is legit my soulmate. Plus, some people just that's not your soulmate. You
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
what I'm
But
saying?
you can have a best friend that's a soulmate. It don't gotta be
You can
your
have a
husband.
family
Yeah,
member that's
exactly. It
a,
doesn't have to
a
be your husband that's your
co-worker.
soulmate. It can be anybody. But that person, some people are just there to help you get through what you're trying to get through, and some people just don't. Some people just ain't don't acknowledge that, so that's why they stay in,
I
or they
think
stay in because they married and I got kids and I did this.
Yeah.
They trying to prove a point. Now you're miserable in there. You're a
Mm-hmm.
single
mm-hmm.
parent at this
Yeah.
point, even though you married, but you're single.
Mm-hmm.
But you in there
Yep.
trying to prove a point, so you're gonna stick it out and be miserable
Mm-hmm.
because you're trying to prove a point because somebody done told you in the beginning that you shouldn't have did that in the first place, and you didn't want to listen to that. Now you in it, and you know you shouldn't be in it, but you don't want your pride getting in the way. Then
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. It's like what is it poker where you gotta know when to hold and when to fold and when to walk
mm-hmm,
away and when to run.
exactly.
Because
Uh-huh.
if you grew the fruit with me, but it's my job or my duty or my mission or my purpose in God to get this fruit to Jack Paul in the middle of nowhere, I cannot sit here with Peter with this fruit. Peter, you gave me the seed, you helped me grow it, but that's it. I gotta go, And if you sit there long enough, you and Peter gonna get hungry. And y'all gonna
Mm-hmm.
start eating that fruit.
Mhm.
And then you can't grow no fruit back because now Peter done gave you what he had and it's over with. Now Peter ain't got nothing left. And here come
Like
the
bye.
person you supposed to be feeding and you ain't even got what you
Got nothing to
supposed to
feed them.
have.
Now that's why grandmama used to tell you put a little seed up for yourself.
I know that's right, Grandma.
You be like, don't mind if I
Get him out
do.
here.
Put a little seed, put a little
I
seed
just
back there.
go ahead and pack that down there with everything else because
Yes, yes.
I remember. Yeah, and loyalty too. Our definition of loyalty. A lot of our grandparents stayed in situations that no longer, never ever served them.
Right.
And because my mama, you got to stick with your husband. You got to stick by him, and then let you do one thing wrong and see what he do.
Right.
He gonna
Mm.
You want
scram
me to
on
say
you quicker than
something where
you.
I'm getting depressed and mistreated and
Uh-uh.
misused? And I'm not gonna get towed down for nobody. And you
And my
think,
kids is not gonna sit in the church next to their brother and sister thinking that that's their friend, but it's their brother and
right?
sister. You got me
At the
messed
I
church
know
up.
that's
house.
Cause
right.
we had great
Mm.
aunties that we didn't know was our aunties. But end up my granddaddy had kids with two people on the same block. I'm like, my
Girl,
great
I couldn't
granddaddy.
be like that.
Well,
I
I was gonna
had
say, well, our great granddaddy Salita, not my
listen
great
on
granddaddy.
my daddy's side. I had aunties and uncles. One of them passed away before I even knew she existed. And the one uncle I didn't meet until my granddaddy's funeral. So
Oh
that's the
wow.
type of shit you think I'm finna deal with. No,
Uh-uh.
bye, get
Mm-mm.
on.
No. And then
This is
that goes back
done.
to our self-worth too. Like, I'm not gonna allow you to go over to Barbara this Shirley. I'm not gonna be. That is
No.
my man from the top of his head to the soles of his feet. He's mine.
I'm gonna say Shirley too.
Well.
I'm finna drop
No,
his
no,
stuff off
ma'am.
over there. Him and his kids. Y'all can do that. I'm gone. I'm out of here.
All
This
of
is my
y'all.
ticket out.
I'm telling you.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
Ooh,
But then when
I
you said I'd
can't.
rather have half a man than no man at all, no ma'am, not me.
No, I don't want
Had a whole
none.
thing
If you
on.
ain't home, because half will give you a lot of trouble.
Um,
Hello. Mm-mm. And then you end up getting stuck. It's kind of like putting a half a key in a keyhole, and then you can't
And
get
it
it out.
breaks. Or
Now
either
what?
it breaks in the hole.
And how you gonna get it out? You gonna have to darn near hurt something
get
trying
a
to
new
get it out.
doughnut. Get a whole new doughnut. That's what you got.
Yep.
No
Exactly.
ma'am. And that goes away. That conversation can go a long way because
Yes, it can.
no ma'am. I'm not putting up with it. That's like the whole "what do you bring to the table" conversation. I hate that conversation to the best of me. Like I cannot stand
Why?
it
Why?
because I don't know. I can't stand it
No, you can stand it, and you do know. Why don't you like to have that conversation?
because I'm like, okay, up front you want me to tell you what I bring, but I'm like, what are you bringing?
I mean, okay, can you? But what is the problem with you answering what you bring to the table?
Because it's so much that women have to do now on their own that it's like I already got a table. We can put our tables together.
Okay, but what is the issue with you talking about what you bring to the table? Well, no matter who table it is. Why is
Oh
it an
no,
issue to talk about what you bring to the table?
oh no, because they
Are
be like,
you
oh,
aware of what you bring to the table?
it could be, and I guess that's part of the issue. But I'm like, how can you pick me apart for something that you asked me? You know what I'm saying? You asked me this question, and I'm telling you, but it's not enough. It's not
So
enough.
is this a date? Is somebody you're just meeting?
Oh, I ain't had this
Asking
conversation
you.
with somebody in a long time, but any, yeah, I guess you would say somebody you just met.
Oh, okay. And he asking you what you have to bring to what table? You ain't even built a
You
table.
never had
Well, then
these
that would be
conversations.
the next
Oh, wait a
question.
minute. Maybe he's talking about the dinner table. He hungry. He want to know what can you bring to
And
the
then,
table.
you
You
know,
got
someone
fried
like, I
chicken,
am the
cornbread.
Oh my gosh.
I ain't gonna
someone
even
that
say what my
every
brain thought. I'm gonna
I,
just,
What you
hey,
think?
I'm gonna just,
I was with
I'm
you,
gonna just,
Robin. I was with you, Robin. I was
yeah,
on
I'm
the
gonna
Say,
same.
just be quiet.
Yeah.
say it, child. This is
We
girl
ain't got
talking
to.
wine.
You know. He
This
know
girl
too.
talking wine. Say it.
Y'all
Rosemary.
know. Everybody know.
I don't know.
Oh,
Okay.
they
What you
want to
thinking?
know if you
I
can bring
don't know.
some
I just
strawberries
feel
and
like
cream
it's
to the
too
table. That's all
close.
they want to know.
That's enough.
Strawberries and cream and
Yeah.
some honey. Oh,
Hello.
you oh some dessert food. Okay.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Some
Yep.
dessert.
to do food.
Mm-hmm.
So what you
Mm-hmm.
got to
A
bring to the
to-do
table?
list. Mm-hmm.
So okay, the table is the bedroom.
It can be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It can be.
Especially if you first
Bring
met.
some to this place.
For
Nowadays, when you
me,
first met.
this is there. It's the bedroom, but it's the financial. I need you to know the bank account, the assets we bringing.
You got any
Like,
children? Are you
do
bringing any
you have
children with you?
insurance? Do you have insurance? I need to know if something happened to you while you headed home. You gonna be okay? Do I gotta bury you? You know, I need to know things like that. Do you have a home? You renting? You own it? Like, where we at? Like,
Oh, this is a potential husband you're talking
I would
about, or
hope
just
so. What else is
anybody?
we doing?
Okay.
What else
I
is you
didn't
here
know.
for?
But somebody I
I
just
got
mentioned me
time.
asked me what I'm bringing to the table. We just met.
And I like Robin's examples. I love
Mm,
that.
mm.
Yes.
Yeah, I have
But
to know where
my
we are, and
thing is,
even if
can
I
they
don't have
answer those
nothing.
questions? That's my whole dilemma. Like, can you answer the same question that you asked me?
But
Exactly.
okay, but you don't know that until you have to answer first. If somebody asks you a question, you answer it, and then you say, "So what do you bring to the table?"
I can tell you one item and y'all go table to table. Item to
True,
item. If you want to.
true. Or
Item to item. Don't give him
build to
your
the
whole
point.
table up front because he might not even meet half the stuff on your table. You can wait and now he know what you got. And he can lie on that. You don't know if he got that on this table or not.
Yeah. And then you can beat him to the punch and go and say, hey, so what do you bring to the table? Like, what do you, and you ask it. Since you don't want to be the one to answer it first, ask it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just kind of play it all by ear. And I can tell, like, I really don't care what, I ain't gonna say I don't care what you bring to the table, but I want to make sure, I want to see how you handle your business and yourself first. Because how you handle yourself says a lot about how you handle others. You know, and when people if you haven't handled your emotions and you ain't handled your own mental, and you physically out of shape and all of that, you don't need to be thinking about nobody else, right? You really don't need to be focused on me or the table or anything, because you almost big as the table. You need to be you ain't bringing nothing to the table.
You ain't got no money. You most likely the waiter that waits on the table.
The table.
You ain't got no money.
You ain't got none, and the table ain't been waited on. It ain't been waited, because a real waiter gonna make sure everything cleaned up. They gonna make sure everything in order. Things are tight and right, and you know what is you serving me? I don't want that. You don't even want that. So you know I don't. But if that's what you're bringing to the table, say that. You know, and what is it that you need from me so that I can help you multiply what it is that you brought to this table? Because I do like you. Your spirit on point. You got a good conversation. Your mental sounds like you at like an 8 out of 10. You know, I can work with you. And
so
he's
an evolved man. He's an evolved man. He's mature.
As long as he involved, why then we can evolve. But if you ain't involved and all we doing is thinking in our heads of what could be, should be, finna be, about to be, used to be, my mom and them, cousin them, daddy used to be.
Oh, then, boy bye.
Hello, I don't. My phone finna die. I'm gonna call you back. I'm not gonna call you back, bro. What the fuck? Who is this?
I think the biggest thing is that we have to bring this. I'm gonna say this for men, that they have to bring their minds into this time instead of feeling like we gotta act like our grandma and them. Cause that don't work. Cause grandma ain't have to work, and grandma ain't have to go to work.
And it's a different economy, a different world now.
Yeah, the economy is definitely different, so you can't expect, the same.
Me and these,
both my grandmas went to work.
Me and these days, honey, they want to work a woman. They don't want a man. They don't want a woman not work. Because half of them now, half of them divorce.
I want options.
Well, they better get me now while I'm working.
I feel bad. I feel bad.
I know that the dating world is so different now, because I have been married all them years, and man, I done ran into some jokers, man. I was like, what's wrong with the people in the world today? Girl. Ain't nobody loving nobody. Everybody trying to see what I can get from you.
They think they love
what can I get from you? And they know what you bring to the table is like, what you got? Huh?
Right.
No, let me see what you got over there.
What kind of car you driving?
Yes, and then they think they loving you. That be
and then it's like part. 2 days. I love you, and you supposed to be my wife. You gonna be, because they think they telling us something that we want to hear. Now we're not thirsty women. We're not thirsty.
I'm a wife, but I'm not your wife, and I know you feeling that wife vibe. I know you feel that because that's
but
just
it's not
who
for
I
you.
am. But it's not for you. You just call me on a couple days a week because I ain't found that somebody yet. But just know you got a position. It ain't that though. And I have to be clear up front because I don't want to leave nobody on. I don't want nobody on my Facebook posting nothing. I don't want him to feel like he can pull his phone out and take pictures with me because we ain't that.
Yes.
Who is that? I can't see. Salita, who is it?
That is Zamira.
Hey, Zamira.
Robin said, hey.
Yes, because it's different. It's a lot different. And I think social media and the internet has a lot to do with the big change.
Has broken the relationship. We talking about break the internet, they done broke relationships.
Well, I don't know if it's broken, Rosemary. I think it's just different.
It's baby, it's so broken, honey. It's broken in several pieces.
Well, who gonna fix it? You gonna fix it?
Nah, I can't fix it. Woo!
Yes,
I'm
you
glad
can.
I ain't got to worry about that.
I think we probably just
Mm-mm.
gotta adjust to it, y'all. That's something you got that didn't change, so we gotta change with it. It ain't like it
Yes.
And you can't conform to it. You just have to know how to get in there
get
and
around
still
it.
hold
Yeah.
on to your morals and your values. Like, I
Yeah.
like you and you sexy, and yes, I have some trauma going on. Yes, I've been traumatized, but I'm not making the same mistakes twice.
Mm-mm.
And as a man, I hope you respect that. If
Yeah.
you don't, I feel you, but I gotta let you go.
Yeah.
You
And I
can you
feel
act like a nigga, you talk like a nigga. Like, oh,
that's all right.
okay.
And I tell
Not
them
a
this.
nigga
If
though. Why would
if
you
I
call
gotta
me a
lie
nigga?
to you, I don't need to be bothered with you because I'm grown and I'm not gonna be I don't have to lie. I'm grown, I
Yeah,
do what I want to
And
do.
don't put me in no position where I feel like I need to lie. Like, ooh, I'm like, oh, did I feel like I just need to lie? I gotta get away from around you. I gotta
Mm-mm.
get away from around you because you dangerous to me. You dangerous to my character. And when you dangerous to my character, that means I'm about to sacrifice myself. You
Mm.
got to
That's
be real
good.
crazy. That's like when Satan was tempting Jesus at his weakest moments. Like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you want him to sacrifice his identity to who he worked so hard to become. Like, the first thing the enemy go for is your identity. Because if you don't know who you are, you doomed. You
Mm-hmm.
done
Mm-hmm.
for.
Mm-hmm.
And mm-mm. When you
And
really do the work and you walk this walk, you
mm-hmm.
ain't letting nothing take you back. Like, you not. Like, you just
Mm-mm.
not, because you know how much it takes just to get back to just a little piece. Just
Yes.
a little sanity.
Yes. And it seems like the men's mission seems like they're out to just destroy what God has, the place that God has put women in. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like they ought to destroy that. Not all men's, but there's like some men's. I call them vampire. They want to suck the blood out of you. And
Yep.
they
Yeah.
only want to come out late at night.
Mm-hmm.
And then they
Girl,
got
they even comes up in the morning now.
they
They
come in
come
the
up
morning,
early.
got
They
sunlight.
rises up,
You mean the
baby.
sunlight don't bother them?
They rises up in the morning. You hear me? The morning star.
Mm,
They
wow.
yeah. I'm scared of them
That's
kind.
deep. That's so deep. I'm telling you. That is
Scared of
so
them.
deep.
Mm-mm. Nah, I love you with the love of the Lord, baby, but scoot over. Mm-mm. And then me, like, I remember during my transitioning, like, the first part of the awakening was so hard for me. And when I say hard, I ain't saying like impossible. I mean, like, it was so many parts to it that I had to learn and figure out, because nobody was walking their walk for real. You couldn't call and say, Mom, what happened when the man say this, or when he do this, or what if I mess up and accidentally do that? You
Mm,
couldn't really. Or, Mom, I'm dreaming about him being with somebody. Is this true? You couldn't ask questions like that because they were not walking their walk yet either. So it was things that I had to literally, like, God, it's
help me
me.
with this.
Yeah,
Yes.
could you please help me understand why, or what is this? Because he's the only one who can understand. Half of most, all of the things that I encountered was reflections of something within myself. But this
Mm,
is just the way God wanted me to learn it, was through somebody doing it to me. And I'm
mm,
like, oh, that's why the community he don't communicate well, or is lack of communication, because I don't communicate with God well.
mm.
And so
That's
now
good.
I'm experiencing it in this relationship because it's a reflection of my relationship with
With
God.
God. Oh wow.
Like, got it. Why he only call me when he needs something? You only call God when you need something. Like, when we going through stuff, why you get so quiet? Because when you going through stuff, you don't be wanting to talk to God. So it's like, okay, I see. But I had a hard time, letting go of the old ways of doing things, and accepting the new ways of moving, for the fear of being called lame, or for the, don't want to hurt nobody, and I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. And I'm like, God told me clear as that. He said, feelings don't have feelings. People do. He's like, how you gonna hurt a feeling? You can feel hurt, but the feelings don't get hurt. So stop worrying about folks' feelings, because you can't hurt feelings. They choose to be hurt. And I'm like, okay, don't make sense right now, but I'm sure it'll make sense later, because that sounded like some smart stuff. So I got it. I'll write it in my mental notes. And I can remember like that night laying with somebody and having a good time and loving, and we hold it. And I don't want you to scoot too far off because I'm scooting over too, because can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, my phone was ringing. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Okay. And then like going to sleep in this spirit of just, and then waking up, want to throw up in my mouth. Like, what have I done?
Ooh,
like,
you got that sick feeling.
It's like, what did you do? Why did you do? And I wasn't drinking. I wasn't high. I wasn't none of that. It was just the two parts of me were still trying to find that balance of who I am, who I was, and who I'm to become. So all those and during my studies, I learned that like throwing up is a sign of deliverance. Diarrhea is a sign of a release or a purge, like you getting somebody else's system. And crying is release. When you just can't stop crying, you're releasing something. And I started paying attention to those signs. Like, okay, when I woke up, I wanted to throw up. And it wasn't because he made me sick. It was, and sometimes I'd be on the toilet with a garbage can, like throwing up in
both ends
at the same time. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And it'd be me releasing something that I allowed, and then being delivered from something that I'm no longer that. Like, and looking at the bed that I laid, I'm like, I can't even look at myself no more. And the day before, you felt pretty, you felt magical, majestic, you felt anointed and powerful, and then you woke up defeated. Like, I let God down. Like, I remember feeling like that, and then the next time, of course, it's gonna happen again. But I remember just trying to get in that motion that night, just trying to feel it again. Just like, okay, we're gonna have fun, and we're gonna watch movies, and I couldn't even. I'm looking like, ooh, like the throw up feeling started to come early, like, and just could never get with it. Just could never find that groove. And you know how some people can manipulate you, just start like touch your arm or play with your hair or give you a nice look. I was like, ooh, like, dude, scoot over. Like, why you all on me? It just wasn't that anymore. Yeah. And it just started to continue to grow and grow and grow. And now I don't even like people in my space at all unless they come in. I know it's God. Like, I talk to God so much. Like, I know God's voice when I hear it. Like, I could be talking to you and I can tell when it's you talking or when it's God speaking through you. I just know. And how many lonely nights I had and God held me. Like,
come on now.
Yes. The comforter held me. And I know it was nobody but God, because it was this, that wasn't nobody there but me. And I fell to sleep and I felt like laying on a cloud, like, oh, thank you, God. My shoulders rested, the air was purified. It was just perfect. And I vowed to God then. This was after marriage or whatever. But I vowed to him then that any man or woman that I involve myself with, if I don't hear, see, feel God, I don't want you. I ain't here for you. I'm here for God in the form of a man. I'm here for God in the form of a woman. Like, before you can be anything to me, you got to show me that he can use you and that you're willing for him to use you. And if God can't use you, I know I can't. He ain't got nothing for me. And it's hard. Now I'm at a place where Like I was dating a guy and he had the touch of God. Like when he touched me, it was just like, whoo, oh Lord, and that's just his hands. Just
You felt that
just
anointing.
like my goodness. Like what was okay. And when he speak, it was never like in a hurry or too excited or like he got to balance out. No, he was always like, yeah, you okay? And he would like,
Mild
calm
manner.
down, hold my hand, breathe, Miss Watkins, chill out.
Mhm.
It's okay. And he would pull me back to my center space, and I'm like, oh, this so godly. The problem was he didn't know who he was. I only could see it. And
Oh
he
wow.
looked for my affirmations all day, every day, because he was like, nobody ever told me, I was valuable. Nobody ever told me that that's how my touch felt. I mean, I knew it, but I didn't know exactly how deep this thing is. Nobody ever told me that my voice was peaceful. And I'm like, wow, women really have dropped the ball.
Yeah,
Then you
we have
wonder
to.
why
We
these
have
men
to.
are so messed up because
Yes. Yes.
you're not feeding the God in them. You looking at, oh, he got a big ding, or oh, he's cute. Oh, he got his own car, his own house, his
Oh,
kid.
got the money.
And he can sing, and his
Mm-hmm.
mama can cook. Okay, but then what? When all that is done, then what? Exactly, because I want to be able to look at my man across the room and can talk to him without talking to him, and he know, and I know. If he ain't got that, it ain't nothing. So
I
that
want
was
to ask
just a
Carl.
thing.
Can I ask Carl a question?
I hope so.
Carl,
Oh, you can. You can. I'm always here. Yes, ma'am.
you're married, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So tell me some attributes, some godly attribute that your husband has.
Noel, it's bedtime.
Golly. He
Godly attributes.
hmm. So he can tell me something like he know the Bible better than I know the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
He just okay. So he speaks about the like if somebody comes around him, I love this when it happens. But if somebody comes around him and they just think they just know it all and they spirit are right, because me and him both, we can feel, that's one of his attributes. Like he can tell people spirits and he can look at me, I look at him, both of us on the same page. That spirit ain't for us. That person is not for us because how the spirit is. So he can read stuff very well. But he'll sit there and if somebody just they know about the word and they just sit there and talking about if you ever meet my husband, you don't think he would know those kind of things because he's very gangster looking, whatever you want to call it. And so you wouldn't think you know that. And what gets me is that somebody can talk about it and all of a sudden he'll just intertwine and he'll talk about it, but he'll bring it to normal terms. It shocks people that I love about him. It just shocks them because they don't see it coming. And he can sit there and he can read people. He's very, I don't know the word, they tell me I'm that too, like he's very anointed, whatever. So he can read people so well. That's one of the things for me. And then with I don't know if I ever told, I don't know. Like I met him after my dad passed away. And I was the baby of the group. My family. I was the baby. I didn't have to cook. No Carnaby song. I didn't cook. I don't clean. I can tell you how I got the ring. That's me. Okay. I didn't do none of that. He do all that. And yeah, like he does outlet. So I always say that God and my daddy brought him to me because he brought me like a few months after my daddy passed away. And like I said, I didn't have to do anything. So that's why I say he's my soulmate because he completes me. He does everything that my mom or my daddy would have did for me. That they made sure I was going to be taken care of if they wasn't here.
Wow.
That's like legit, like literally, like he all that. And he just but that's what I like about him, that he know the word better than I know the word. And if you look at him, you don't think he do. And then when people come around in the room and all of a sudden he used to back in the day, I didn't catch on that soon because we were just he would sit there and he would leave the room. I didn't know why. He would leave the room because of the person that came in. He said the aura or whatever, he said they spirit ain't right. And then eventually I started feeling it too. I didn't at that point. At that time, I didn't know what that feeling was. He was the one to let me know about all that kind of stuff. I didn't know all that kind of stuff. He
So,
was the one who broke it down to me.
does he speak life to you? Like if you're
Yes.
down, he'll come and just speak life to you,
Yes, girl.
and
And
it
he'll do
help bring
anything.
your
Like
spirit back up.
he brings it up. He's my biggest cheerleader.
Mm,
I'm come here.
that's good.
The other night I came in. He like, you got a bath? You have I arranged some bath water, put some Epsom salt in it. I said, oh, how did you know I needed that?
Man, because he's so tapped into you. Oh my goodness. And he's
He
tapped
knows something
into
wrong with me,
God.
and I be sitting there. He said, what's wrong? I come in there, he'll have me a Tylenol or some muscle lax because here you go. Because he know, like he's so, and same for me with him. Like we so in tune, it's ridiculous. Like I can, I know when something up with him, he know when something up with me.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Thanks for sharing that with me.
Yeah, he's some still good ones still out there, girl, but they're just hard to find, child. But they there, but it's all about
They
how they
tell me to
raised
go to
them.
church. Go to the church house.
One thing, I'm gonna tell you one thing.
Girl, be quiet. She
Me and my
don't
husband has
believe
been together
it.
20.
She
We
just
have been together
talk.
20 years. You know how many times he done been in church since we've been together?
How?
Probably maybe 10.
Okay. All right.
Because he don't like he got so many got back growing up wise. You know how some churches that was he got burnt by him. So he don't he's like, I ain't gotta go to church.
How many times you been to church since y'all been together?
Oh, I've been a lot.
Are you like active now?
No, I have never been
Do you
active.
be wanting him to like go with you when you went?
I have never even wanted him to go.
I was just wondering how they went.
I know they're right, crazy, right? I never even. I think because I know I think because he just in me. Well, actually, because me, I'm not the one that think the church doesn't make me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some people go to church and think I gotta go to church to make anything happen in life. Long as because me, I believe it's thousand ways to tithe. You don't have to just tithe to a building. So I think that's probably why I ain't never really been like come to church for me because I really don't have to. I don't think I have to be in a church to get what I need.
Yeah. My husband was raised Pentecostal, apostolic, and I was raised Baptist, like young Baptist, and his grandmother then was like apostolic, and they didn't believe you knew God if you couldn't speak in tongues, like. And
I think it's probably is that the ones they put the oil on you and go boom like that.
Now you have to say thank you. You have to say thank you, Jesus, real quick. Thank you, Jesus.
Yeah.
Jesus.
When I first met him, I went to church him probably about 2 times. Like he never went. I was in his church, and they had him. They had the oil on the head and try to push him back. He kept on coming back like this. He like this. I'm like, I ain't never seen that before. I ain't never seen that before. I was like, what's going on right now? They kept on pushing him back. He wouldn't go. I was like, why you wouldn't go? He said, I didn't want to go. I said, what you mean? I said, everybody else was falling back. You wouldn't fall back. He said,
girl, I would have been in the church laughing. Y'all would have had me on TikTok. Like I would have been recording. Like
I didn't know what was going on, Rob.
Record this. Y'all
back.
press record now.
He ain't falling. I'm like, what's going on?
He got the devil in.
He's like, no, he was like, they ain't gonna push me down.
Cause everybody falling, They don't even know what they fell into.
Yeah, but he said, ain't nothing in there. They just falling. I said, okay, I didn't know what was going on.
They used to say that you had the devil in you if you didn't fall.
Oh Lord, honey, I tell you, I get dying laughing. Lord have mercy, what he got me into over here.
Yeah, my daddy and them, we started off the same way. Though we weren't Pentecostal, they still, spoke in tongues, still prophesied, still slain demons. It was Now he don't do that as much now that he's moved up into the ministry, but in the beginning he did all the time. But my husband's people was just different, and they were very judgmental. Oh my gosh. I dyed my hair like blue, purple, and green. It was really pretty, by the way. But they just they just didn't like me. Like they were not rude per se, but I wasn't what they wanted for him. Let's just say that. And it played a major part on our relationship. And it forced him to want to marry early too, because they got to a place where they were saying he was shacking, and it wasn't even shacking. That's just he was staying in my house a couple nights a week, and they just felt like we was quote unquote shacking, and made him feel like I wasn't welcome to Thanksgiving dinner because we weren't married, and just and made him feel bad about being with me because we weren't married and we was spending the night with each other. So
yeah.
And it just kind of, he's like, well, I do love you, and I would like for my family to love you too. And, I wasn't opposed to getting married. I wish we still would have waited a little while longer because we were best friends. Like, best friends. Like, we were the same everything. We love fishing, we love hiking, we love dogs. We both like football. Like, we just, everything was perfect. And then it just, religion, you have to make sure that you equally yoked on their part too. And your families do play a major part. Even though you're not living and sleeping with them, they play a part.
Well, Robin, did you guys have any counseling?
Yes, but his people didn't want him to have counseling with our pastor. He needed counseling with them.
Oh wow.
So, and he was young. Yeah, and he still wanted the advisory of his mother and grandmother. But you have to have a man mentor too. You can't just take the advice of your mother because your mama sometimes will look at your wife as opposition.
Yeah.
And not always seeing it as, look at who this man is becoming, not he's not your baby anymore. This is a man. So
a lot of men don't realize once you get married.
I'm sorry.
Did he remarry?
No, he is with a girl. He can't remarry till he divorced me.
Oh, you guys
right?
Married?
Yes. Now let's put that out here in the atmosphere. Yes. I didn't say ex-husband not one time.
No, you sure did.
Yeah.
You sure did. Now we got the 411.
Well, everybody know. I just never said it online. I did, but not like.
Well, she feel like, did she really just say it out loud?
Yeah, no, I don't have a problem with it. I mean, if he or her see it, I'm sure they'll be serving me some paper soon, and I'm looking forward to it because we've tried 3 or 4 times and something always happened. Notary public stamp expire or something always happens. So. Yep.
When you said the family, that's a big part of what another thing I love about my husband is that he's a firm believer of how the household is set up. Like once you get married.
Yep.
When I tell you my husband, he don't care who you is. You can be his mama. I love her to death. You can be my mom. Love her to death. You can be. He don't play when it come to me.
I know that's right.
And that's how it should be. That's how it should be.
Because you leave your parents so you can cleave.
Yep.
Yep. I'm told to, and they got But I'm glad we ain't ever had no issues on our side, fam. Because I would love Jesus.
I ain't never been married. I ain't really got no part of that conversation.
Girl, stop.
I know people that's married and they don't like their in-laws, and then eventually, they always unhappy when you don't get along with the other side of the family.
It makes for a bad marriage. I'm telling you.
I can't imagine that. And then you want your kids to go over there because you don't know what all going on, and I don't want that. Yeah. And I always wanted a man with a family, like a close-knit family, and good mother and father. I mean, his mom and dad ain't got to be together, but they don't need to have a toxic relationship. Because a lot of times too, and I looked at this last week where we talked about generational curses and things being passed down through your bloodline. And oftentimes things that pass through the bloodline only continues to pass because it's still active within the person passing it. Like if your mama got, let's say, if your mama got AIDS after she conceived you, you're not gonna get AIDS. Like you, unless y'all swapping stuff, but ultimately you're gonna get it if it's in her bloodstream when she conceived you and when she had you. And it's the same thing spiritually. If she's still battling with homosexuality, then when she conceived you and pushed you out, that's still in your bloodline. That's still in your blood because it's still active in hers. But if she broke that curse on her life prior to your conception or even after, it's canceled, even within your blood.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a lot of times we don't see that either. And if you and your husband have an issue and y'all can't even, or your ex-husband, your baby's father has an issue, y'all can't even have a conversation, a mature conversation or dinner, or to talk about your child, the well-being of your child, without your husband getting mad because you talking to your baby dad and y'all 60 years old. Like, or y'all can't talk without having, you can expect that to trickle down to your son or your daughter, your descendants relationship too, because that's something you've not even handled. And then you can't be mad because you're gonna be okay with it going on with your child because you doing it. And they not gonna listen to you because you don't need to talk to daddy. Or daddy, you don't need to talk to my mama. So how you gonna come tell me I need to talk to her?
Right. Y'all know the craziest thing I did. My daughter has a different baby father. And I met my husband when she was 3, maybe 4. I think she was 3. She was pre-K. So her baby daddy, he crazy, whatever. I can't deal with him, whatever. He's just crazy. But my husband, every year when her birthday came or Christmas came, he would get a present and put on the box saying it was from her father because he would be involved when he wanted to be involved. Yeah. But he never because he has girls and he had crazy baby mamas that wouldn't let him see it. Like we have to buy him clothes and drop him off. That he had. So, but he said he didn't want her to go through that and make that be traumatizing to her. So we never said anything different. It was the craziest thing. I think she might have been 11 or 12. All of a sudden, we still let go over to their houses. We know everything. They never got into arguments with each other. Nothing. Like I could talk to him today and wouldn't be a problem. We had never had any issues. He just wasn't there for her. And she was like 11 or 12, and one it was her birthday or Christmas. I can't remember which one. And she came in and told me and my husband that I know those presents wasn't from my daddy. That was I still to this day never asked her how she know that. So she told us we could stop getting it for her because she knew it wasn't from him. I don't know if it was maybe one of her visits to their house because she couldn't stand it. She hated going to his house. She said he was mean. So she didn't like going to the house, but I let her go to her grandma's house. So even to this day, she would not go to her grandma's house if she know her real dad is there. So I never want to have a bad. She'd never heard me about my husband say anything bad about her because we didn't want her to ever be a young or ever have a child and not be with daddy. Then have a husband and y'all have we don't want her to grow up thinking it's okay to badmouth people. I don't care who the person is. So we never did that. But I still, and to this day, I never asked. I should have asked her. She just left. Never to the day. I never know how she knew that those presents was not come from him. But that was my husband's idea. He didn't want her to not.
I commend him. He was honoring the father because he's a father.
Exactly.
So I commend him. He was stepping
up. And it was just crazy. I still don't know. She probably told him one day when she went over there. Probably said thank you for the gifts. He probably said what gifts or something. Ain't no telling. But so she told us not to buy them no more. We never bought them no more. But he did it every year like clockwork. She'd have some under the tree or some birthday gift that said her daddy's name on
it. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Really mighty. I said what? But yeah. So
I don't know. I'm not opposed to dating somebody with kids, but I would like for my first to be his first.
Yeah.
Or if since we manifesting, if I do get a man with kids, I don't want to have any. I want it to be the best of both worlds. Like we be parents when the kids here, and he gonna know I can love your kids just like they mine. Send them on home, baby, so we can be mommy, daddy.
And you'll end up pregnant.
No. See how Rosemary come in and just snatch my dream down. Y'all seen that, right?
You said
Y'all
you
seen
want
that, right?
you want the best of both worlds. Is that what you said?
One or the other. We can have kids, but I want my first to be his first. Yeah, if we have them, I want him to
that's
not
what
have them.
happened. Like when you adult somebody and you thought you couldn't have babies and you end up pregnant,
Well, I want to be pregnant, but I wanted to be with somebody who ain't got no children. But I'm not picky. But I prefer, if I must ask for something, I'd rather him not have it.
It'll come, because I said my husband. I've spoken to Adam. I said my husband's gonna be my. I said I was gonna have my daughter I said I'm gonna have my second child when my daughter is 6, and I said it's gonna be a boy. And I said it's gonna be by my husband. Yep, and that's exactly how it happened. And his only boy. He got 3 girls, and he's the only boy.
Oh wow.
Yeah, my husband was everything on my list too. I just didn't think about the family thing, and I was like, "Dang it,
you missed it."
It's okay. It's okay. I know next time. Just gotta go a little bit further out there.
Selena, do you desire to be married?
I do.
Okay. Selena
I grew
already
up
married.
in a 2-parent household. My parents were together 38, 39 years before my mother passed away. And wow. I want that. Like, I want that. I want what I saw. I want how I grew up.
And they loved each other, baby. Ooh, they loved each other. You ain't never see one without the other.
I don't know.
And then how many brothers and sisters? Your mom had what, 6 kids?
Yeah. And we all was in the same house. I'm like y'all, my mama made us sit at the table together and eat. We went on bike rides together. We went
nice.
together.
I used to come to your house sometimes. Well, I don't know if you was born yet. When y'all stayed across the house in Stonegate, I used to come eat at the table with y'all too sometimes. I hated when y'all moved. I was like, why Stacey never had to leave?
Yeah. And then y'all all not too far.
Left me.
They all not too far in age either. So y'all kind of grew up together. It wasn't like you got one way older and then one way too young. Everybody was still able to relate to each other. That's dope. I was the only child.
I told
it was the weirdest experience ever. I would, if I have one child, I gotta have 2. I would never make a child be an only child. That was the weirdest experience. Really? Not saying that it was bad. I mean that it's turned out bad, but it was very weird.
It's just good you had cousins close your age. That's the only thing made it
good. I mean, it ain't like they were there all the time.
Oh, no,
Angie didn't have kids until I was 10, punking.
Yeah.
Now my mama would let me go with my dad, and he would drop me out to my grandma Jewel house with Finay them, but that was seldom.
Yeah.
So I was out, and my mom was always working. She wouldn't let me leave her sight. I couldn't go to nobody's house. She
was at the shop.
Yeah, I'm at the shop sitting there watching her do hair, curling some weave or something to keep my mind. She wouldn't let me go to nobody else's house. Like, she tried that before, and then one of my friends' brother kissed me, and I wrote it in my diary.
Oh my god!
And it just screwed it up. Yeah,
never wrote it down.
I didn't know she was gonna read my diary. I thought I had a little pride. I don't know why I thought that, but
our generation ain't had no privacy.
Girl, and we wrote it in a notebook.
You can leave a bedroom door closed and everything now. You can close them.
Don't lock it though.
Oh, you better not. Oh,
I keep the door down. Lock for what?
I felt my daughter's son. Somebody did that one day. I about went crazy. So they locked the door. They never did it again. But I don't know. It's like something hit me, like a trigger came. The door was locked.
Cause stuff happened behind those doors.
And I was.
And what you hiding? Where's the door?
I was going off. I'm like, we don't lock you now. You pay a bill in here? Like, no, you don't lock no doors in here.
And why is you locking the door?
Yeah. When I opened the door, wasn't even. I'm like, what is you even doing? Like,
okay. Lock the door. But I was pretty bad though. I don't know. I wasn't bad, but my mind always was like ahead of my time.
And one of my great aunts was telling me, she was like, even she said, you always been different. She's like, even when you was 3 years old, like when you were playing with other children, she said you would give them the toy just to see and observe them, like see how they gonna play with the toy. You wouldn't just play with the toys. You would just like see how other people play with the toys. She said, you just always been different. Oh, Rosemary.
Yeah, no problem.
Lord, that ghost in her house.
There they still something.
Yeah, I forgot what I was saying though. But oh yeah, I wasn't the best child, but I knew like the things my mama taught me, I took them with me wherever I went. I snuck out, because I was just bored out of my mind from being in that house by myself all day, every day. And when my mama did come home from work, she go in her room, shut her door, do whatever she do in her room, and I'm just like bored. Nobody to talk to. We too young to really be on the phone, and then half the time everybody got brothers and sisters and friends and stuff, so they don't want to talk to me all day every day. Like so then my friend Kira came along and she had a little car and she was able to sneak out, and we were sneaking out and having fun, and then I started sneaking people in because my mama had bought a big enough house that she was on one wing and I was on the other. She ain't know nothing, and we ain't had no problem. From that moment forward, I love being the only child. Stay over there.
You had upgraded in your own personal life, didn't you?
Yep.
It did.
Yep. And it'd be so funny, y'all, because like the way the rooms were set up, they was like down the halls from each other. I had 3 rooms myself, and my mama's house was room was on the other side of the house. But my hall had 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. So I would turn like the room. I was sleeping in all the rooms, so she don't know which room I'm sleeping in unless she coming there to turn the heater air up, and I hear her check the door or something. So I would close the door in the room, turn the radio on up just a little bit, so she'll think I was in that room sleeping. But I'd be in the other room, and I can hear her come through the hallway and turn left, so they give me enough time when I hear her open that door in their room to give enough time to get this room together so she can see I'm actually sleeping here, but I'm asleep. Ain't nobody in here, but it's somebody in here.
Girl, you was playing musical room with your mama.
Yes. We wasn't even doing nothing. It's just I would even have like my girlfriends over there. Just she didn't want me to. Couldn't nobody come to her house. Like she don't want nobody. I don't know them folks. I don't want them folks in my house. Like, so I just had to improvise so I wouldn't be by myself forever.
Yeah.
But girl, my back still ain't the same. Jumping out that window, hurting my back on the bricks. Honey. Yeah. I could go for days on crazy stuff my friends had me doing. I was with it. Because their brains wouldn't think of how to get it done. My brain was like, okay, climb down the window, hold on to the side, shimmy over and drop. Like, it's easy. Pull the car up. Drop. Right. Pull the car up so you can drop on the hood of the car.
Look, I was not with her.
Now, okay. Since we live, I'm going to let her say her. Because she had us going with a string of the cable man in Covenant.
That was college.
That was my first year. I ain't know nothing about all that. Selena found us a cable man, Rosemary.
Girl, that man tried to get us. Let me
and gave us all bottles of E&J brandy. Huh?
You know nothing about that.
Huh?
I ain't know nothing about that.
Oh, yeah, 1 second. Yeah, we had a good time. We had a good time growing up. And I can see why my mama sheltered me, too, because it was a lot out here. It's a lot out here. It's a lot out here. And she knew who I was before I knew myself. So I respect it. I respect everything she did. Mm-hmm. Though in the time I didn't understand it. Now that I'm older, I'm like, man, my mama knew. She already knew.
Mm-hmm.
But they have to go through what they go through. You can't shield them and shelter them forever.
Yeah. I had
Rosemary, you just need to say good night, girl. Rosemary says she can't hear. She can hear. She just don't. She trying to hang up on the side. This her way of saying good night. I'm finna go to sleep on y'all too, honey. I'm geeked up off this coffee.
Yeah, you got to get some rest.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
So, Lita, I got some good news and bad news. Your ride ain't coming.
What's the good news?
That's it. I gotta figure out how to get you here. Oh, hey, Rosemary.
Hey, I can hear now. It kept going in and out. I couldn't hear.
We said, look, this Rosemary way of saying good night. No, she just gonna hang
I
up.
was saying to myself, is it time to say good night?
Hey, we've been on here a long time tonight.
Yeah,
it's our last night for a minute, y'all.
1 hour and 50 minutes. It's a long time. It's almost 2 hours.
Yes, it's been some good conversation. I enjoyed it.
And I learned a lot. About each individual one of y'all, and make me respect y'all so much more. And I appreciate y'all being here. Y'all, we reached 3,000 members. Honestly, I just wish all 3,000 of them would interact and engage. I wish I could find a way to get them involved.
I don't know.
I can't think of anything either. When I checked the analytics, though, it looked good as far as the lives. When we go live, it is usually a lot of people. Oh, Selena dropped off. Oh, I think I found that.
Oh, okay.
But yeah,
have you tried to do any campaigns, like a weekly campaign, doing something every day of that week to get people to come?
I don't have time enough for that.
I know.
I'm not gonna
nobody had that time.
Yeah, and if we all could commit to doing one day at a time, and somebody else do one, then I could do that. But on my own, I did more than I could just by signing up these 6 weeks. I forgot today was Thursday. Somebody told me it was Thursday, and I was like, oh.
I almost forgot until you sent me that, tag me in that video.
Oh yeah, I had to do something. I couldn't just not do nothing. So I was like, okay.
Because I called you today and I was like, are we doing Girl Talk and Wine?
And then when we did the live the other night, Salita was saying, it was Angela. Was it Angela? She's like, what's the topic? I was like, if the Lord tell you, let me know. Because I have no idea.
Because I said do a discussion.
I didn't even have it in me to stay within the lines of a topic tonight. My mind is everywhere.
Yeah, we just have
we have fun. It's good to have like real talk.
Yeah, randomly talking.
Yeah, and I'll probably do through the week, press the live button, and just if y'all available, hop on with me. If not, then we good. I just want to be able to get on here and love on each other.
Okay, are you gonna break from Girl Talking Wine?
Yes. Unless you want to pick up on Thursdays, you can run it. I know you can because this was your idea, so I know you can do it. You can do it. Hello, you can't hear.
I'm still here. You see the look that's on my face.
Yes, that's why I'm laughing.
I'll see.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna say no. I'm not
Salita gonna help you. Salita gonna help you. Look at her face.
And Carol too.
Carolyn,
I won't be available next Thursday. I won't be available. Look, I won't be available next Thursday. I'm not available next Thursday.
Okay, so how about you grab? That's 3 Thursdays right there. One of y'all get next. The next one get the next one, and the next one get the next one. Y'all map it out. If y'all can give me 4 weeks, I can come back stronger than ever.
Now you gotta run the board, the dashboard. Yeah, because you gotta let people.
I mean, I ain't gonna not be here. Of course, I'm gonna show up, but
okay, well, you act like you just gonna be in the audience.
I mean, if I can.
No.
I would kind of like it. Y'all mean to me. This is a lot.
They've been doing really good.
Yes, right.
I want y'all to actually do it so you can see how much it really is. Like, it's a lot. And it seems so simple, like, oh, click the button and go. No. And y'all know how my schedule is. I work like 72 hours straight before I can even go home. And then I go home and rest. And I be so beat. Though I love girl talk though. I really like talking to y'all. Like this is what I would
And I
rather be
commend
doing.
you too. I commend
But
you.
I be so tired. And I haven't looked and worked on my nonprofit stuff. I don't even remember the last time, you know? And I slipped and let that property get out of hand before I did the contract on it because I was so focused on work and other stuff, losing track of days and time. So I'm fumbling other places because I picked up more than I can really handle right now. So, and I don't want Girl Talk to fall, and I know it won't because this would year 8 and year 4, 5 of Girl Talking Wine, the talking part of it. So it's gonna live. It just I may need somebody else to help me carry it for a little while until I can get back in.
Well, you
Or
have
we
to
can take some
train me.
time off. We can take some
Train me.
time off. So not everybody jump up at once.
But yeah,
I said train me. I said you have to
like
train me.
a week or two, maybe. Just I know next week, and then the following week, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm looking forward to the couple of weeks off because I got a lot going on. I'm gonna do some gift. I'm gonna do some gift boxes for Mother's Day. I gotta go ahead and get everything together.
But this would be a good place to promote them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so we're gonna wait a minute. You know, I'm all for it.
And I also
I'm gonna
feel
be on
like
vacation. I'm gonna be on vacation the 26th to the 30th.
Of March.
I'm on vacation tomorrow. My birthday Monday, so y'all bet not forget.
We won't, girl.
I ain't gonna let y'all forget because I'm gonna.
So you're Aries or Pisces?
Both on.
My kid's Pisces. I'm Aries.
On the 20th.
The 20th is the last day and the first day on, depending on how you look at it.
She on the cups. They call it the cups.
Yeah. Right.
Rosemary. Wow.
So I think so Rosemary's gonna be gone. Are you going on vacation for your birthday, Robin?
Yes, Lita going with me too.
Okay, so
looks like I'm going.
We need to take a break for 2 weeks. They give everybody time.
Break.
But if we take a break, I want y'all to think like this: if we take a break from it, you lose the momentum. We have to start back from ground zero. Oh, so what I say is the best thing is during the week, even like you did before, Carolyn, where you just press the live button and you just went live and talked about something. Just keep the movement going.
So StreamYard. We don't be on.
It don't even have to be on StreamYard. You can go live in the actual group and just keep it flowing where people see people. Live. Yeah, in the group though.
Okay.
When you go in the group, you'll see the option where it say post something. It'll say live. It's a Dropbox. It'll say live. Just go live there and just talk to people or say.
This is Carolyn from.
Do that.
I just want to come in and tell y'all I love y'all. Have a good morning. We gonna do this. We gonna do that.
And let everybody know 2 weeks. Then we set our day, whatever the 2 weeks is. Whatever. I don't know what that is.
Angela wants to get together next week and form a calendar.
Okay.
For the spring Girl Talking Wine 6 weeks.
Okay.
And that's if we're gonna do speakers. And Carolyn, since you were the travel agent, she was saying we should get together and do actual physical meetup too, and get as many women to meet up as possible. Yeah. And like maybe a cruise for next year or December, and just see, something that's like less than $300, so people can actually afford it.
Oh yeah, you can do. Yeah, probably do a good cruise. Yeah, and then they can do it next year and give everybody time to get their PTO out and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then just go to like a New Orleans one, so you don't have to drive too far.
Carly, you have to give me your phone number. I didn't know you were a traveling agent.
Yes, ma'am. I put it on the chat, girl. I'm everything.
Okay, go ahead. Put the.
I put it on our Facebook.
You said you're an all-purpose girl. You are. A jack of all trades and the master of none.
Honey, when I tell you, I'm gonna try everything. You can say.
First of all, you can be the master of all of them.
I know that's right.
I don't know who came up with that stupid. The master of all of them.
Yes. But yes, I like that though. I think everybody should go live at least once, just for a couple minutes, just to be noticed.
Salita is not gonna do that. I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all this
I
now.
will. It won't be no 2 hours, but
No,
I'll
just
do
2
it.
minutes. Just 2 minutes. Just 2-3
I'll
minutes.
do it. I can do it. I can get on there and say some encouraging words and be
That's
Yeah.
Selena.
And you could do like I did, Salita, record it with a filter on Snapchat and then just post it on here. It don't have to be live. It could just be a hey to whoever is on the Facebook live watching us. Hey. Hey girl, hey. But yeah, you can also just post it. Shut up, Carolyn. You can actually just post a like a video
Hey
of
girl,
yourself.
hey. Hey girl, hey.
Exactly. Get with it, Rosemary.
This
Write
is
this down.
Robin Watson,
I'm writing
and
down
I'm
once
coming
a
to
week. I go
you
live on. I
live.
don't my notepads yet. I don't appreciate myself right now.
You better appreciate my cousin.
I'm writing. I'm trying to find my post-it note to remind me to go live at least once a week for the next 2 weeks.
For
until we get
the
back.
next 2 weeks.
At
Okay.
least
I'm
it
definitely
might be they doing a schedule for spring. So yeah, so we go live at least. Yeah.
and I'm definitely capable of posting a video or something
Okay.
once a week. I don't have no problem with it. It just
Okay.
may not be a live. And I've been doing good with the lives too on my personal page. Y'all know I'm not a live type person. I don't even like that. But I just got my monetization status back. So I'm like, I want to learn how to make money off these apps.
Yeah, that's what I'm actually in the process of trying
They
to figure
sent
out.
me a little $10 check
Yeah.
and
But
stars.
it
We
could be
need to come
greater.
up with a
It could be
way to
greater.
promote these stars too, like getting people to pay the stars so we can have money to do stuff. Because if we go to Nashville, I would like for us to get us a van or a Sprinter and be able to just roll out and ain't nobody got to pay for nothing. It's already paid for.
Yeah.
I'm getting ready for bed.
All right. Well, nice
Good
talking
night,
to you,
y'all.
All
ladies.
right.
I
Okay,
love
ladies.
y'all.
Love
Love
y'all.
you
See y'all
too.
later.
Y'all have a good day
Salita, I'm about to
tomorrow.
call
Good
you.
weekend.
Okay.
Yes.
All righty. God bless.
All right.
Bye, y'all.
All right. Bye.